Hello, my name is Natalie Goman, and today we're going to be discussing mealtime and food traditions within Italian cultures and the best ways to go about supporting Italian families when it comes to nutritional counseling. We're going to be starting off talking about some food and meal traditions within Italian culture. Italians love the usage of fresh and locally sourced produce and products. They vary throughout the year. This gives Italy a communal characteristic and it helps them support the local economies. They have a custom called aperitif. Not sure if I said that right, but it means before dinner drink. This consists of wine, aperols, specialty cocktails, or other alcoholic beverages. It's a tradition characteristically served with olives, bread, or cheese. Charcuterie tends to be served alongside these drinks. This is just a time for everyone to communally bond and talk and relax before mealtime. This shows a great sense of community alongside the usage of locally sourced fruits and veg. They're very deep-rooted in their community. Next, we're going to be talking about some superstitions or bad luck beliefs when coming to Italians and meals. First, we have placing bread upside down. This could be anywhere on the table in the kitchen. Placing bread upside down has a bad connotation. With traditional Italian society, bakers had a very large role in the community, and if they placed a loaf of bread upside down, it means that this loaf was usually set aside for the executioner. So bread upside down meant death and execution and bad fortune. Another taboo superstition for Italians is having 13 people sitting at a dinner table. That is very taboo. They don't like to have 13 people at a table. That is because of the religious superstition of the Last Supper and how there was Jesus and his 12 disciples and Judas was the 13th person. So they believe having 13 people at a table leads to misfortune and backstabbing and bad luck in general. Some mealtime practices is sharing and relaxing during mealtime. Sharing dishes such as appetizers and desserts is a practice characteristic of Italian culture because they value that community and deep-rooted sense of family and time and appreciating the time that you have and the simple pleasures like eating a meal with your family. Food preferences and avoidances that Italians have. A preference is simple dishes. They like to keep it simple down to the minimum. They have a less is more mindset when it comes to quality eating. They have simpler dishes that maintain a focal point on the simplicity and natural flavors of the ingredients. They shy away from excesses such as butter, oil, garlic, or sauces in any large quantity in their meals. They feel it drowns out the natural flavors. They have a wonderful custom of saying bon appetit, which I'm sure I didn't pronounce that 100% correct. This is a greeting used to start off meals. It's said before meals, before dessert, before any time when a family or community is eating together. It's a time of wishing everyone a good appetite and a reminder to slow down and enjoy the meals and appreciate the simple pleasures of life that come with a delightful meal with one's loved ones, which is another way that Italians love to make meal times and food and eating last longer. They value the simplicity and the delightfulness of just having a meal, which a lot of times is missed in different cultures. A good practice to have when being a nutrition professional working with Italian families is the ability to storytell and put meaning into something. Italian culture is very rich in storytelling and they're very expressive. So when working especially with younger children or elderly or middle-aged adults, use visuals, either guides, colorful meal plans. But one thing that is especially useful is modifying family recipes, keeping within their tradition, making them feel comfortable and connected to their roots, while also providing that healthier option for them. It helps motivate them to actually make the changes. Also, another thing when handling Italian families is showing respect for Italian culture and norms in food or mealtime practices and traditions. You need to be able to demonstrate a level of education and interest in their culture. It allows them to feel understood, and they'll be more willing to work with you and make those changes. Emphasize the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet is one that is more closely related to their roots when it comes to food. Region-wise, culture-wise, it's similar. Foods like olive oil, fresh herbs, fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, low sodium things. The Mediterranean diet is very integral to a lot of Italian culture. So trying your best to enforce that when providing different options could be a very useful tool.